Hi YouTube, this is the General Motors column steering lock module, GM part number 2337796. This is installed on the Chevrolet Volt, Opel Ampera and Vauxhall Ampera in Europe. It is a newer version, as I understand it, of the original column steering lock that was installed on European vehicles. This is a cause of a lot of trouble for owners of these vehicles because it causes a bunch of problems. You have probably seen videos on the internet describing how you can solve the column steering lock issue by removing a fuse or disconnecting the 12-volt battery. In some cases that will not help you, and this video describes how you can remove physically this module if it is in the stuck position. The module is placed in this manner, just in front of your legs under the steering wheel, and I'm now going to show you how to remove it. So if the steering column lock is in the unlocked position, you should be able to just remove the 4 bolts holding it in place. There are 2 bolts that go here in these holes, and there are 2 bolts on the other side, up here, and one of these is a bit difficult to reach, but it's not too much trouble because it's next to one of the pedals on the car. The module works by pushing out and in this little tab, and that goes into the steering column and stops it from rotating. So it is placed in a metal casing that surrounds the column lock, and these 4 tabs on the side hold it in place. And if it is in the unlocked position, once you have removed these 4 bolts, you should just be able to slide it upwards a little bit and then slide it towards you. But if it is in the locked position, this will not be possible because the shape of the casing is such that there is a metal structure going up here that doesn't allow you to slide it towards you directly, and the lock itself is stopping you from sliding it upwards. The original version of this column lock did have 2 so-called shear bolts, I believe, that had to be removed using a power tool. But as I said, this newer version simply has 4 normal bolts that you just remove easily without any power tools. So now I'm going to talk about how to remove it if it is in the locked position and how to remove these tabs. So maybe there are other ways, but what I did was to take a flathead screwdriver, place it between the module and the metal casing, which is quite soft, so it's easy to pry up a small gap. And then I used a multi-cutter tool with a fine tooth saw blade. I placed the saw blade between the module and the metal casing, and I sawed off these 4 tabs. And then it was easy to just pry out the module towards me with the screwdriver. Once you have bought a new module, which you can do by just looking up the GM part number I told you at the beginning of the video, before installing it you can remove these tabs before you put it in place, and that way you won't have this hassle in case you have to remove it once again. So before you remove the module using this method, you should of course explore other methods. I'm not sure if there are any, but these 4 tabs are quite small and quite easy to saw off using a multi-cutter tool. So there we go, that's 1, and you only have 3 to go. Steering column lock is positioned in front of your legs, just underneath up there. It's not too much of a hassle to reach it. You have to have the door open and sit outside. There is also an emergency release in case you want to get the car to shift out of park, which it will probably not do even if you have removed the column lock. Then you have to do that, you have to remove the panel which is located here on the passenger side. So you slide the passenger side seat back, and you pull back this panel, and then there is a little metal thingy that you push backwards in here. I'll show you a picture. Probably you still won't be able to drive the car, but you'll be able to roll it and to move the steering wheel.